Beatty City, year 3204. The heavens themselves rage against a man reaching for godhood. Just one final tribulation stands between Subai and immortality, but as he reaches for the heavens, a betrayal is set in motion. His own disciple gathers the very power meant to test him. She unleashes the divine thunder technique upon her own master. The strike comes from the one person he never suspected. His ascension shatters, his body crashing back to earth. "Master, it's over," Lin Wangqiu declares, her sword unwavering. Betrayal fuels his rage. "I'll kill you!" Another shadow emerges from the chaos, his second disciple. A brutal kick sends Subai reeling, his lifeblood spilling. A seemingly loyal hand by Yu Yu catches him, but her intentions are anything but. He deserves a dignified death. The third betrayal cuts the deepest. Surrounded by his own students, the terrible truth is undeniable. But even cornered, the sword immortal is not without his fangs. "If I die, you all die with me." He unleashes everything in a final suicidal gambit. Suddenly, a flash of gold cuts through his desperate attack. His final power is extinguished, leaving him broken in a crater. The falling treasure copper coin. "Shuir, are you here too?" The conspirators gather, but two of their own are conspicuously absent. A fourth disciple appears, her words dripping with judgment. "Your crimes are endless. This is the fate you brought upon yourself." But against all odds, a smirk plays on Subai's lips. His laughter echoes, defiant and mocking. He stands unbroken, surrounded by the very students who sought to destroy him. "Are you finished with your little list of false accusations?" A flicker of flame appears in his palm. The hunt is not yet over. "Did you truly think this was enough to kill me?" His form dissolves into pure energy. "You want my life? Then come and take it." The world ignites in a final, cataclysmic blast. His soul becomes a weapon, the law of heaven and earth made manifest. He roars a final curse, a promise to drag them all to hell. They see his plan too late. He intends to self-destruct. Together, they try to contain the blast in a desperate, futile effort. Energies collide in a blinding flash of annihilation. The world is consumed by fire. A scar is carved upon the planet, a testament to his final rage. But death is not the end. He gasps for air in an unfamiliar room. These are not his hands. This is not his body. A strange face stares back from the glass. Where is this place? A scream for help from outside shatters the sudden calm. He opens the door to a world gone mad. The dead walk among the living. He has not just been reborn, he has been cast into an apocalypse. The city burns below, a monument to this new, broken era. Why did they betray him? For power? For glory? It no longer matters. The past is ash. This body is weak, but he will forge it into a weapon. And one day, he will return. He will teach them all a lesson they will never forget. The first step is to reclaim his strength. To begin anew, he will reach his peak faster than ever before. He focuses, reaching for the familiar wellspring of power within. But there is nothing. His spiritual roots are gone. This body is useless. He reaches for the world outside, searching for any trace of energy, and feels only a horrifying, absolute emptiness. This world, it's barren. There is no spiritual power here. Without cultivation, how can he survive this hell? How can he ever take his revenge? His despair is interrupted by a frantic intrusion. A woman slams the door shut, bringing the outside world's terror with her. Gasping for breath, she confirms his worst fears. "I almost died out there." She shoves him away, her fear overriding her desire. But her lover is arrogant, unconcerned with the chaos outside. She notices the wound on his arm. He dismisses it as a simple scratch. His mind is only on one thing, but her body grows weak, her protests fading to a whisper. She urges him on, oblivious to the change taking root within him. Suddenly, his body convulses in agony. The infection has found a new host. She watches in horror as the man she was with transforms into a monster. With a guttural roar, the newly turned zombie lunges. Panic gives her strength as she kicks the creature away. The screams echo through the apartment. Subai is not alone. Memories of this body flood his mind. The woman is his cheating girlfriend, the man her lover. He opens the door to a scene of brutal, poetic justice. Her eyes find his. She screams his name. The traitor begs for the help of the man she betrayed. Subai watches, his face an unmoving mask of ice. As teeth sink into her shoulder, her pleas become desperate shrieks. Her final moments are spent cursing the man who refused to save her. He closes the door on their fate. They deserved it. Now he must focus on his own survival. He must find a way back. The first step is always the hardest. With the traitors gone, he can finally focus on a plan. But his vast knowledge is useless. This frail body cannot handle his true power. To be so close to godhood, only to be reduced to this. There is one last resort, a desperate gamble. He summons a weapon from his spiritual storage, a relic from his past, a low-level magic weapon. His hopes sink. The 10,000 Souls banner, a name far grander than the reality. It's nothing more than a pathetic little dagger. He throws it to the ground in disgust. This thing is useless, but the discarded weapon reveals its true purpose. It has bound him to the 10,000 Soul system. He remembers now. This banner was designed to collect the souls of the dead. A new path opens. Every soul he claims can be converted into the spiritual power this world lacks. But there's a catch. He has only 5 minutes after death to harvest his prize. A smile spreads across his face. This apocalypse is not his prison, it's his hunting ground. If the world itself has no spiritual power, he will simply have to take it from the endless dead. And his first targets are right next door. The traitors have turned, their mindless hunger echoing through the walls. The time for reaping has come. The banner transforms into a spear, eager to taste its first souls. The first strike is swift and merciless. The second falls just as easily, torn apart by his technique. 2 souls, ripe for the taking. Even in death, they manage to be an annoyance. But their purpose is finally fulfilled. He activates the banner, drawing their fading spirits into his weapon. The stolen energy floods his system, a torrent of raw power. The feeling is intoxicating. A taste of what he lost. A breakthrough. The first step on his long road back to the top is complete. The city had fallen into chaos. The dead walked and the living ran. In the panic, humanity was the first casualty. This new body was pathetic. I needed supplies, but we were not the only ones watching the city burn. Below, death fell from the sky. She refused to accept her fate. Not here, not like this. Another act of selfish survival. A shove, a shouted apology, and he was gone. As she hit the pavement, a flicker of recognition shocked me to my core. The memory was instant, the peerless swordswoman Lin Wan-Qiu. But the woman on the ground was a pale, helpless imitation. It couldn't be her. A frustrated sigh escaped my lips. This complicated things. My spear materialized in my hand. Lin Wan-Qiu! The past echoed with accusations and the clash of demonic steel. As the creature lunged, a ward of inscribed ribbons flared to life, holding it at bay. A blinding flash tore through the alley. I met the bladed horror head on. A single, swift thrust from above found its mark. The corpse crashed at her feet, silencing the street. She stared, unblinking, at the dead thing pinned to the ground before her. A single tear traced a path through the grime on her cheek. She was alive. I pulled my spear free. She looked up, wondering who had saved her. How the mighty have fallen, I sneered. Remember when you almost killed me? I looked down on her. Your master would be so disappointed. Her face was a mask of confusion. What are you talking about? How do you know my name? She shakily got to her feet, brushing debris from her clothes. Thank you, she began. Have we met before? My eyes burned as I stared her down, searching for the lie. Stop playing games, Lin Wan-Qiu! I roared. You think I wouldn't recognize you? I don't know what you mean, she cried, her fear palpable. We have to get out of here. Her terror was genuine. Could this truly not be the woman I knew? It was her. The face was identical to the traitor I remembered. But this weakness, this fear, perhaps she'd lost her memories. I would find out the truth. My train of thought was derailed by the pathetic growl of an empty stomach. She laughed, the sound jarringly innocent in this hellscape. There's a shopping mall nearby, she said, pointing. We can find food and shelter there. Her smile was open, guileless. Was it all an act? Fine, I agreed. This was the perfect chance to observe her. Without warning, her hand closed around my wrist. Come on, she urged, pulling me forward. We need to find supplies while we wait for rescue. As she led me through the ruins, her smile never faltered. I swept her into my arms and ran, pushing my speed to test her. Amnesia or deception, I would know soon enough. But no matter the answer, one thing was certain. Lin Wangqiu would pay for what she did. Night fell, painting the sky in shades of blood and shadow. "There it is," she pointed. The supermarket stood like a tomb against the horizon. We approached the entrance, our footsteps echoing in the silence. I held up a hand. Something was wrong. "I'm sorry, in all the chaos I never asked," she said. "What's your name?" So it was true. She really didn't remember me. The red sky bled over the skeletal remains of the city. "Subai," she called out. "Even if you've forgotten, I won't let you go." She led me towards the entrance. "We should be safe in here. We can just wait for rescue," she whispered, peering into the oppressive darkness. The stench hit us first. Then we saw them. A room filled with the dead. "What are all these monsters doing here?" she stammered. I remained silent. As the dead shuffled forward, a bizarre message materialized in the air. A discount card? A demonic voice echoed from the shadows, offering a deal with the devil. One of the larger abominations seemed to hesitate, questioning the offer. It refused. A flash of light, and it was vaporized for its insolence. Interesting. A level 1 demon, barely a threat. "Subai, we have to run!" she pleaded, grabbing my arm. "Run?" I held her back. "Why would we run? This is a feast. My 10,000 souls banner requires sacrifices to grow stronger." A smirk crossed my face. "And look what we have here." I unfurled the banner, eager to test its newfound power. Soul chains erupted, binding the nearest creatures and twisting them to my will. "Go," I commanded. "Kill your own kind." My new puppets obeyed instantly, turning on the horde with mindless fury. The slaughter was brutal and efficient. They fought with a ferocity they never possessed in life. Death from above, delivered by my own hand. One by one, the horde was dismantled by its former brethren. There was no mercy, only my will. The banner's power tore them apart, body and soul. But the demon's marketing pitch was relentless. My patience was wearing thin. "Get back!" I yelled, gathering my own power. The remaining abominations surged forward to fill the gap. I unleashed a fraction of my true strength, and one of the shadows vanished. But this body's spiritual power was dangerously low. I had to end this now. I focused what little energy I had left into a single seal. This time, I wouldn't just control them, I would turn them against each other. I yanked one back by its soul, shielding Lin Wangqiu from the attack. The demon's offer was permanently declined. Now, the chain tightened, forcing my new puppet forward against her will. I made her an offer she couldn't refuse. With a final tug on their souls, I set their destruction in motion. She screamed, fighting my control even as she obeyed it. Her jaws clamped down with sickening, bone-shattering force. 2 problems. 1 gruesome solution. The last of them was torn apart. The battle was over, but the harvest was just beginning. "Detain!" Chains of soul-sealing energy erupted from the floor. The creature's power was bound, its essence ripe for the taking. I drew it into the 10,000 souls banner, another soul to fuel my ascension. The system confirmed the capture, but presented a new problem. To level up, I needed to hunt a more powerful target. An advanced zombie? What fresh hell was this? This weak body lacked the power to hunt a foundation beast, not yet. "Mr. Subai!" Lin Wangqiu ran towards me, her eyes wide with awe. "You were amazing. I completely misjudged you." Her ignorance was astounding. She truly had no idea. Now that the danger was gone, the rats began to crawl from their hiding places. They celebrated their survival, foolishly believing the worst was over. "We have supplies. We're safe now," she said, smiling. She was wrong. And right on cue, new predators emerged from the shadows. Their leader stepped forward, staking a claim he hadn't earned with blood. They surrounded us, posturing like kings of this ruin. "He's the one who killed the monsters," she yelled, her anger righteous but useless. They just laughed. "Him? You expect us to believe that?" Her fury was met with mockery, leaving her speechless. I placed a hand on her shoulder. It was my turn to speak. "Words are useless," I told her. "You don't ask for what you want in this world." "But they're trying to steal everything you fought for," she protested. A smirk touched my lips. "The strong are always right, and they are weak." I walked toward them, Lin Wangqiu trailing in my wake. "I'll be taking some of these supplies," I announced. Any objections? They shouted their defiance. They had no idea who they were talking to. Get out? I asked calmly. Are you sure you want to see what happens when I get angry? Ha! The arrogance of mortals never ceased to amuse me. My eyes blazed with power. For your insolence, you are all sentenced to death. The soul from my banner materialized behind me. I'll take the supplies after you're dead. Their faces twisted in terror. They finally understood their mistake. My puppet lunged, eager to carry out my will. Their begging came too late. Mercy is a currency I no longer trade in. A flash of shadow, and the first one fell. The message was delivered in blood. I stood over the corpse. Does anyone else wish to stop me? Silence. Fear is a powerful motivator. Lin Wanchu spoke for them. No one will disobey you now. She nodded, a new understanding in her eyes. Thank you, Mr. Subai. While she gathered what we needed, my servants stood guard. Do you need some too? She asked, looking back. You'll carry my share, I stated. Consider it payment for your life. It was time for another test. Isn't that right, Lin Wanqiu? She just smiled brightly, without a flicker of recognition. Of course, I'll get it right away. I watched her, the suspicion gnawing at me. Could this truly be a coincidence? Or was her act simply flawless? She returned, weighed down with supplies, but ready. I'm ready, Mr. Subai, she said eagerly. What's next? You'll follow me, I commanded. I'm going to hunt a stronger zombie. Okay, she followed without question, a loyal dog at my heel. As we left, I could hear the survivors cursing my name. Their whispers were meaningless. They were already turning on each other, deciding how to divide the scraps I'd left them. Greed took over instantly, and their squabbling began. Pathetic. They never realized they weren't alone. The demon from before had returned, drawn to their weakness. Left to their own devices, the survivors showed their true colors. They fought over scraps, their humanity forgotten in a tide of greed. One man declared himself king of the spoils, but his reign was cut short by a flicker of movement in the shadows. A new predator had arrived. His grip loosened, his prey forgotten. He realized the feast was not for them, and the true owners of this place had come to collect. Their screams were a brief, bloody chorus before the silence returned. Even in death, there was no escape from the hunger. A different kind of violence erupted miles away. I was conducting my own business. My power in this body was still limited. 3 thralls were all I could manage. For now, I needed to stay hidden. But she had other ideas. She struggled to keep up, weighed down by supplies and her own weakness. Mr. Subai, wait! Keep up, or be left behind, I warned. I had no time for stragglers, but she wasn't afraid. She was strangely confident I wouldn't leave her. Amusing. And what makes you so sure? I asked, testing her. Because she had something I wanted. I know where to find the powerful zombie you're looking for. Now, she had my full attention. She spoke of a strange creature near the campus lake, one with an unusual scent. She warned me it was dangerous, as if that would deter me. A mutant beast. Perfect, just the challenge I needed to level up. I gestured with my spear. Lead the way. Her pace was still too slow. I moved ahead. The path to the lake was not clear. We took cover, her fear a palpable scent in the air. She hesitated, pulling me back. What is it now? She motioned for silence, pointing toward the horde. As if they were a threat. I don't have time to waste on these things. I struck the ground, and my chains cleared the path. She stared, shocked by the casual display of force. Her protests were a waste of breath. The path was clear. What power could have created these half-human, half-ghost abominations? A question for another time. A noise from ahead. More survivors. She recognized a voice. Her friends were in trouble. One of them was about to become food. He fought back with desperate, useless strength. A hollow clang echoed through the street. His weapon shattered. The dead barely noticed. It lunged, the broken pipe jutting from its skull like a grotesque trophy. Its grip was iron. The end was near, until my spear found its mark. They scrambled back, finally understanding they were out of their league. She called out their names. Ji Yu Ming, Li Mingxuan. They're my classmates, she told me, as if that mattered. She looked at me with pleading eyes. Did she really expect me to play the hero? Just as I moved to intervene, her hand clamped down on my wrist. Let's go, she urged, pulling me away. This is our chance to escape. You'd abandon your classmates? I asked, though I already knew the answer. She chose the stronger horse, a logical, if heartless, decision. The Lin Wangqiu I knew was a cunning traitor. This girl was just an ordinary coward. Their desperate cries for her fell on deaf ears. She didn't even look back. She blamed them for their own fate. Pathetic. We moved on. The roaring of the horde a distant annoyance below. But her shortcut was a trap. The dead began to climb. She screamed as their grasping hands reached for her. Her apologies were drowned out by her own terrified sobs. While she fell apart, I readied my weapon. Enough of this. I, who defeated the 9th Demon Lord and his legions, was supposed to be threatened by these mindless things? They weren't even worthy to be my prey? Devour them? I commanded my spirits, and the slaughter began. We watched as my power washed over the horde, a wave of pure destruction. They turned on each other, a cannibalistic frenzy born of my will. I turned their tide of hunger back on itself. But the chaos came at a cost. The connection to 2 of my thralls snapped, a frustrating setback. My control in this body was still too weak. The numbers were turning against me again. I needed a distraction. Lin Wangqiu, I snapped, getting her attention. How can you help? I need a loud noise, something to draw them away. She stared at me, her mind a complete blank. Then she offered me her phone, a ridiculous cat-eared toy. I stared at the pathetic thing. She had to be joking. Fine. Let's see what this magic weapon can do. Insipid pop music blared from the tiny speakers. The horde looked up as one. Their mindless hunger was instantly redirected by the noise. More of them emerged from the ruins, their collective roar shaking the overpass. I had to admit, her ridiculous toy worked. She seemed surprised by her own success, so I threw it into the heart of the crowd. My phone, she cried. It tumbled end over end, a beacon of terrible music. Something faster, something with claws, shot from the crowd to intercept it. A sickening crunch, and the music died. The perfect distraction. Attack! My chains tore through the distracted mass, carving a bloody path. We paused for a moment, the dust settling on the carnage. She was more concerned about her phone. Is it still playing? I didn't have time for her foolishness. I grabbed her wrist and pulled. Move! Our destination was just ahead, the classroom building. Inside, she collapsed, exhausted. I secured the door. She thanked me. I reminded her this was a transaction, nothing more. But we weren't the only ones who'd found this sanctuary. Her classmates, they were celebrating their own narrow escape. One of them turned, his eyes widening as he saw her. Lin Wangqiu, he called out, his voice filled with relief. You made it too. Their relief was for the supplies, not for our survival. The vultures were quick to descend. Lin Wangqiu tried to stop them, her loyalty as misplaced as her trust. One of them bristled with indignation, as if sharing was a divine right. He invoked the needs of the many to justify his own greed. Another one played the peacemaker, a wolf in sheep's clothing. He suggested they move to a more civilized location to rob me. An invitation to their little club. I declined to comment. We walked. They led us deeper into their den. She apologized, promising to protect my things, a promise she couldn't possibly keep. I let her worry. My focus was on the hunt for a real prize. She put her faith in the authority of teachers. How quaint. Her naivete was almost charming. She truly believed they wouldn't dare. She didn't understand the nature of desperate men. Behind us, the plotting had already begun. They saw me as a problem, and Lin Wangqiu as a tool. The one with the glasses thought he was in control. He would learn his mistakes soon enough. We arrived at their sanctuary, Class 108. The first question wasn't if we were all right, but if we had food. The classroom was full of them, a nest of hungry mouths and expectant eyes. They looked too clean, too comfortable. The apocalypse was still new to them. 3 days without food? An obvious lie to justify what they were about to do. She buckled under their collective gaze, as I knew she would. She tried to negotiate, to save my half, a doomed effort. One of them challenged me directly. I offered to sell. Let's play their little game. He mocked me with an offer of worthless money. A deal. I agreed, my smile promising anything but a fair trade. He reached into the bag, eager to claim his prize, but something inside was eager to greet him. The payment was collected. A soul for a soul. Panic erupted. The sheep scattered, bleating accusations. I turned to the ringleader. He thought he was a wolf, but he was just another sheep. "You cost me 2 of my undead," I growled. "And you still thought you could take what's mine?" I slammed him to the floor, my boot on his throat. "Perhaps your life will serve as compensation," he cried out to his co-conspirators, his last desperate hope. But rats are the first to abandon a sinking ship. They blamed him for everything. His face was a mask of shock and rage. Betrayal stings more than any blade. Defeated, he turned his pleas to Lin Wangqiu. A foolish move. Now for the real test. What would the ruthless swordswoman do? She knelt, begging for his life, offering her own share as payment. Pathetic. This weak, compassionate fool was not the woman I knew. My search for her was a dead end. "Fine," I said, my patience gone. "Say your goodbyes, I'm leaving." But she grabbed my hand. "Wait, I know where it is." She spoke of a terrifying aura she'd sensed within the school walls. A flash of memory, a divine presence. Could this girl truly be her somehow? In the original cultivation realm, a lone petitioner sought an audience with the master of the mountain. She presented the prize he demanded, her entry fee into a new life. He returned the treasure to her, a 1,000-year-old spirit root. But her success was a mystery he needed to solve. She swore to be his blade, revealing an innate gift for tracking the untraceable. He accepted her pledge, naming her his second disciple and praising her rare spiritual physique. Her only wish was to serve him, her gratitude absolute. A new bond was forged in the shadow of the temple. He corrected her title, and with a single word, the dynamic shifted. But beneath his calm exterior, a question lingered. How could she have forgotten their past? He decided it didn't matter. Forgotten or not, she could still be killed. The memory flashed. A different time, a different world, and the same command. Suddenly her hand shot out, breaking his reverie. She felt a terrifying presence approaching, urging him to run. He remained perfectly still, his expression unreadable. A low, chilling laugh escaped his lips. The vision shattered, leaving him laughing aloud in the middle of class. Killing her would be a waste. Her unique soul would make a fine addition to his banner. Just then, a thunderous impact shook the campus. On the roof, a monster appeared, the very source of spiritual energy he'd been sensing. He watched, hoping the beast held the power he needed for his ascension. The creature unleashed its raw power, tearing the building apart. He recognized it now, a snake demon, its aura strangely familiar. Below, chaos erupted as the students fled in terror, but for some, there was no escape. She recognized it instantly, the same creature from the lake. Subai knew this was no simple mutant. It was a demon beast, torn from another world. The beast roared its approval, finding this new world far more entertaining than its last. Here, there were no cultivators to stop it from indulging its hunger, and it was about to enjoy its first meal. The teacher begged him to save the students, offering anything in return. He considered her desperate plea, but their lives meant nothing. He was only interested in collecting their souls. The monster tightened its grip, ready to feast. Suddenly, a dark shape launched through the air. It slammed into the snake demon's head with brutal force. A new player had entered the field. The impact drove the beast into the ground, shattering the concrete beneath it. The attacker landed atop its downed prey, a predator claiming its kill. It was a fiend of shadow and claw, summoned to do its master's bidding. In the demon's eye, a strange sigil reflected, a mark of control. The fiend's assault was relentless, a flurry of crushing blows. Its very flesh became a weapon, morphing into tendrils to ensnare the demon. The snake demon froze. It heard the words in its mind. Spiritual energy. It stared in disbelief. A cultivator in this weak, pathetic world? But there was no time to think, only to endure the unending punishment. With a roar of defiance, the snake demon threw its attacker aside. Subai just smirked, issuing a direct challenge. "I'm the one you want." A new voice cried out, ready to join the battle. The demon's spiritual energy was a welcome first step, but it was not enough. These mortals, however, could be the key to true power. He turned to the desperate survivors. "I have no obligation to save you, but I can offer you a chance. Pledge your souls to my banner and you will live." He let the threat hang in the air. "Refuse, and I will leave you to your fate." The choice was simple: damnation or annihilation. They stared back in horrified silence. Their hesitation was an answer. He turned to leave as the beast closed in. "Wait!" A hand grabbed his jacket, stopping him cold. The teacher made her own offer. "Take my soul. Just save my students." And with her plea, she revealed something far more valuable. His eyes widened in shock. It was a spiritual stone. He seized her hand, his voice low and urgent. "Where did you get this?" She explained it was a family heirloom, found by her father years ago. Her resolve was absolute. "Take it," she pleaded. "Just keep your promise." It was real. A high-grade artifact from the immortal realm, here on this barren world. Suddenly, everything clicked into place. His rebirth was no coincidence. If the stone was here, then perhaps his disciples were too. The banner sensed the stone's immense power, offering an immediate upgrade. He accepted the terms. A deal is a deal. But a new voice cut through the chaos, accusing him of theft. Another demon beast appeared, its eyes fixed on the cultivator it planned to refine. Unfazed, Subai gave a simple command to his guardian. "Block it." The snake demon struck with earth-shattering force. But the fiend was faster, leaping to meet the attack head-on. The demon's jaws snapped shut, catching the guardian in a crushing grip. It mocked the fiend's size, unaware of the power building within its captive's grasp. The guardian broke free, landing a solid blow to the demon's head. The snake monster sensed its true target was powering up. It had to end this now. It dismissed the guardian as a troublesome bug, even as it was forced back. With a roar of fury, it brought its fist down on the world itself. But the guardian was too quick, leaping clear of the blast. The demon erupted from the floor below, its laughter echoing through the ruined hall. It lunged from above, a killing blow aimed at the still meditating man. Subai looked up, his calm unbroken. Noisy, the power-up was complete. His banner, he declared, required a foundation beast as a sacrifice. And with a smirk, he announced he had found the perfect offering. The demon's eyes widened, seeing only the silhouette of its own doom. The guardian seized its prey, its grip like iron. He had broken through to the foundation realm. The battle was his. And with his new power, he gave a single final command. "Kill!" Spikes erupted from the guardian's body, impaling the demon from behind. With glowing red eyes, it sank its fangs into the demon's neck. The beating was merciless, a brutal display of overwhelming force. It hoisted the broken demon into the air for one final slam. But the final blow came from somewhere else entirely, a crimson-clad warrior. The force of his strike ripped across the rooftop, hurtling towards another observer. But the demon was not yet finished, its claws digging into the crumbling ledge. It clung to the edge, battered but alive. The new warrior paused, admitting he had underestimated his enemy's tenacity. Defeated but not broken, the creature promised this was not the end. It called for reinforcements, summoning a colossal serpent to finish the hunt. The demon's call was answered by a greater, more brutal force. Its arrival was announced with the screams of the dying. On the ground below, a new servant pledged his allegiance to the chaos. The crowd recoiled in horror as Li Mingxuan, one of their own, turned on them. The transformation was complete, a predator born from betrayal. He mocked their weakness, reveling in the power they had inadvertently given him. His gaze swept over the terrified survivors, choosing his next targets. Drunk on newfound strength, he began the slaughter. Hope crumbled into dust as the teacher watched her world burn. They looked to Subai for answers that weren't there, but Subai only watched, intrigued by a human who would willingly serve a beast. Every death was an opportunity. Their souls would soon serve a new master. The teacher, however, refused to stand by and watch. Her defiance only enraged the beast, who seized her by the collar. He raised his claw for the killing strike, but she was faster than he expected. Out of options, they turned to the one man who seemed unfazed by the massacre. He decided to intervene, not to save her life, but to secure his prize. He summoned his power, and the skull spear answered with crackling energy. "Rise," he commanded, and the souls of the freshly slain obeyed. Li Mingxuan froze, stunned by this display of necromantic power. He sneered, claiming he was merely waiting for his master, but now he would deal with Subai himself. Believing Subai was helpless without his summoned fiend, he charged. Subai met the attack with a confident, chilling smirk, but Li Mingxuan never reached him. The ghosts of those he had just murdered rose to claim their vengeance. They swarmed him, dragging him down into a spectral prison of his own making. He recognized their faces, screaming at the spirits to release him. His humanity was gone, replaced by pure feral rage. Subai watched dispassionately as his new puppets tore their killer apart. From the rooftops, the other demons watched, recognizing the power of the 10,000 souls. The snake demon scoffed at the weapon. "You think that piece of trash can hurt me?" Surrounded by his ghostly army, Subai simply smiled. "You have no idea who you're dealing with. My 10,000 souls banner requires a sacrifice," he announced. "And you are it." Li Mingxuan's screams for his master went unanswered as the ghosts finished their work. The demon's bravado faltered. This was no ordinary cultivator. This was a demon sect master. Worse, he had already broken through to the Foundation realm. Survival instincts took over. It was time to run. Its subordinate, finally breaking free, ran to its master for salvation. But salvation was not what it found. "I gave you power," the demon hissed. "Now it's time you repaid the favor." With a flick of its wrist, it tossed its loyal servant to the enemy as a distraction. Subai watched the pathetic display, unimpressed. Its sacrifice made, the snake demon turned to flee. But he had no intention of letting his prize escape. He unleashed his puppets, the fiend leading the charge. The pale creature shot forward like a bone-white missile. The spectral army swarmed the fleeing demon, cutting off its escape. The fiend slammed into its target, driving it into the ground with incredible force. The impact tore through the building, a cataclysm of concrete and steel. From above, the result was clear. Total devastation. A triumphant voice echoed from the dust. "Gotcha." The battlefield turned to stone, a graveyard for the living. The demons were caught, trapped within the collapsing prison. From a safe distance, the survivors celebrated their apparent victory. But the fiend only laughed. "This cage won't hold me for long," the snake demon agreed. "Dream on." It shed its skin like a snake, leaving behind an empty prison of stone. Elsewhere, the demon's former servant fled the chaos, desperately seeking his master. He found only emptiness where his master had been. Instead, he was met by the vengeful survivors he had betrayed. Cornered and abandoned, the monster he'd become lashed out in feral rage. The teacher watched the mob enact its justice, but her concern was for the greater threat. Subai was unconcerned. "A lowly demon cannot escape my spiritual sense." As the creature re-emerged across the city, he decided it was time to end this farce. The snake demon savored its freedom, already dismissing the cultivator who had trapped it. It stood confidently in the ruins, believing the hunt was over, but the hunt had just begun. "Running somewhere?" Subai asked, appearing from the shadows. The demon stared in disbelief. "How did you find me?" Subai silenced it with a single word. "Noisy." He pointed his staff, his spirits moving to surround their prey. "Seal!" The spell took hold, freezing the demon in its tracks. The fiend seized the immobilized creature, its grip like iron. Its claws were long, sharp, and ready to tear flesh from bone. A brutal punch sent the demon crashing against the wall. "Your vital points are sealed," Subai explained calmly. "You are helpless." But even cornered, the beast had one last trick. It unleashed a torrent of desperate energy, a final, defiant roar. The energy coalesced, taking the form of a serpent. A shadow clone emerged from the blast, a last-ditch effort to turn the tables. It taunted him with empty threats. Subai was unimpressed. Fool. He met the attack head-on, shattering the illusion with a single, contemptuous strike. The staff found its mark, piercing the demon's skull. It reeled back, stunned by the impossible blow. Tired of its questions, he decided to end it. The soul banner would claim its prize. Ethereal chains burst forth from the staff, hungry for a new soul. The chains found their target, but even in death, the demon refused to submit. With its last ounce of will, it attempted to self-destruct, a final act of defiance. Subai watched the pathetic display, a flicker of amusement in his eyes. "You think I would allow that?" he asked, his glowing finger stopping the detonation cold. He revealed a fraction of his true power, a golden manifestation of his spiritual sense that dwarfed the heavens. The demon finally understood. This was no mere cultivator. This was a soul formation ancestor. All defiance gone, it groveled, begging for mercy from the being it now called grandfather ancestor. But it was too late. The banner consumed its soul, growing stronger from the sacrifice. He smirked. The banner's upgrade had unlocked a powerful new mode. The banner's new mode was clear. Spirit stones were the key to upgrading his undead army. Finding more became his top priority. But first, it was time to check on his disciples. Their power was his to harvest. Back at the school, his two companions worried. The student recounted his timely rescue from the monsters, but she confessed a strange feeling, a sense of familiarity she couldn't explain. Just then, he returned, the demon dealt with. He scoffed at their concern. "Did you really think a mere demon could harm me?" He produced the purple stone, its energy pulsing in his hand. His question was direct. "Where can I find more of these?" The teacher admitted she didn't know. It was her father's, but she saw an opportunity, proposing another deal. Her father was trapped. Rescuing him was the only way to get the information he sought, a potential trap, but the reward was too great to ignore. He accepted her terms, but he made his own clear. "If this is a trick, I will kill you, your father, and everyone else." She stammered her assurances, the fear in her eyes genuine. She announced to the other survivors that Subai would lead them all to safety. He looked over the pathetic, emotional flock he was now meant to protect. Weaklings, all of them. But even the weak have their uses. He raised his staff, his eyes glowing with dark purpose. "Come!" Spectral chains erupted from the skull, lashing out. They wrapped around the necks of the unsuspecting survivors, who had thought him their savior. The banner drank deep, pulling the very essence from its new victims. Their souls became fuel for his weapon. 5 new souls. The banner was now at full capacity. He held his spear, observing the remaining terrified few. One of them turned on him, her voice trembling with accusation as a soul faded into nothing. He simply rested the spear on his shoulder, his work for the moment complete. He explained the price of their survival. Their friends were now his puppets, and yet they thanked him. Desperation was a powerful motivator. He dismissed their gratitude. It was a simple transaction, nothing more. With his banner at full strength, he could finally reach for greater prizes. He plunged his hand into the void, searching for a worthy artifact. Among the shimmering treasures, one called to him. He made his choice. He pulled a sword from the ether, surprising his companion. She held the blade, and once again, felt a flicker of a life she couldn't remember. He watched her closely. The sword was waking something up inside her. He offered it to her. A gift, with strings attached. She recoiled in fear. "You want me to fight with this?" His words were cold and sharp as steel. "I will not be your shield forever." The bluntness of his statement left her stunned. She reluctantly agreed, her only condition that he teach her. Her hand closed around the hilt, sealing the pact. The moment her fingers touched the steel, something shifted. And in that instant, the past came rushing back. A warrior's life, a forgotten oath. The memory struck her like lightning, a vision of a forgotten master that brought her to her knees. She collapsed, and he watched, his expression hardening. His rage was a physical thing, summoning a nightmare to force the truth from her. The beast lunged, an extension of his will given monstrous form. It coiled around her, squeezing the life from her body as her friend watched in horror. The teacher tried to intervene, but he was beyond reason. Wanchu's screams echoed in the ruined street, a symphony of agony. The pressure mounted, her breath catching in her throat. Her friend pleaded, believing the creature had gone insane. But this was no accident. He aimed the staff at her head, a judge preparing his sentence. He knelt, his voice a low growl. "Do you remember now?" Through gasps of pain, she could only offer confusion. The teacher begged him to stop, to show mercy. He considered her reaction. Was it genuine, or was the memory buried deeper than he thought? He needed to be sure. "I'll find out for myself," he declared, placing a hand on her head. He tore through her mind, a brutal search for the truth as she questioned who he truly was. The search was complete. "Memories cannot be faked," he stated. "Have you recalled your past?" They could only stare back, terrified of the man who had just violated her very soul. He dismissed the spectral snake. The test was over. He left the sword behind. "It doesn't suit you," he said, walking away. She could only agree, her voice a trembling whisper, but the question lingered in her mind. Why had she called him master? He glanced back, a thought crossing his mind. Was this all part of some grander design? They arrived at their destination, a city swallowed by a blood-red sky. The teacher explained this was her family's land, the last known location of her father. He would go in. The spiritual stones were too important. The others hesitated, but their choice was irrelevant. He turned to the students he'd rescued. "My obligation to you is fulfilled. You are on your own." And with that, he left them to their fate. The teacher gave her students a final instruction, a promise to return she had no power to keep. They agreed to wait as she ran to catch up with the devil she'd made a deal with. The students watched them disappear into the ruined city. Alone at last, they breathed a sigh of relief. Their supposed savior was far more terrifying than any monster. The group pressed on, deeper into the heart of the infestation. As the teacher struggled to keep pace, Wang Qi sensed they were no longer alone. A soldier appeared, part of an official team, warning them to stay back. But the rescue team was already losing. The teacher's hope of finding her father with their help died as quickly as it was born. He decided the soldiers might prove useful. "Clear a path," he commanded his puppets. The soldiers found themselves caught in a pincer, the horde closing in from all sides. The captain gave the order to scatter, their formation broken. From above, the battlefield was pure chaos as two new massive threats joined the slaughter. The fiend raised its claw, ready to carve a path through the lesser beasts. It slashed through the horde, a whirlwind of blood and viscera. The spectral snake opened its jaws, devouring dozens in a single, horrifying gulp. Teacher Lai watched in disbelief as monsters fought monsters. From the safety of their cover, the soldiers could only stare, utterly confused by the madness unfolding before them. The city burned, a playground for monsters under a blood-red sky. The soldiers' only hope for evacuation rested on the rumored arrival of the Awakened, but their captain was skeptical. Power was power, no matter the name. One of his men had seen it firsthand, the might of an S-level Awakened. The click of the rifle echoed the tension in the air. He spoke of one man holding off an entire army and winning. The captain scoffed at the tale. Were they men or gods? Then, the scout saw something impossible. Survivors walking among the horde, a man and two women, casually escorted by the very monsters they were fighting. Instinct took over. The soldier took aim. The captain issued the challenge. "Identify yourselves or we open fire." A tense standoff began. A moment of calm and a storm of claws and teeth. His subordinate was ready. "Give the order, Captain." But the captain lowered his rifle. He recognized true power when he saw it. This was a fight they could not win. He changed tactics, asking if this was the help their superiors had sent. The man paused, his weapon resting on his shoulder. "Awakened?" he asked, the term foreign to him. The captain's blood ran cold. This was an unregistered power, a dangerous lone wolf. The teacher stepped forward, breaking the tension. "We're not here to fight you." She explained their purpose. "We're looking for my father, Li Zhengao." The captain's eyes widened. Li Zhengao was a high-priority rescue target. He knew the location, but warned them it was deep in the most dangerous zone. As if on cue, a new wave of monsters broke through their defenses. One of the soldiers screamed a desperate plea for help into his radio. Subai saw his opportunity. "Lead me to him, and you will live." He gave the command, and his puppets moved to obey. The fiend tore through the front lines, its fists like wrecking balls. The great snake unleashed a torrent of fire, incinerating everything in its path. The soldiers could only watch, stunned into silence by the sheer, overwhelming power on display. This was no ordinary Awakened. This was something else entirely. The captain could only guess at his power, a level of strength they had no classification for. But as the dust settled, Wang Shu felt a new chill. "Something's coming." She looked up, her voice tight with fear. "From above!" A colossal foot descended, and a voice boomed a simple decree. "All trespassers will die." The impact shook the very foundations of the ruined city. It was an armored skeleton knight of impossible scale, a monster their intel had never dreamed of. Subai, however, was unfazed. He recognized its aura, perfect foundation realm. The knight raised its spiked mace, the undisputed king of this dead city. It commanded its legion to attack, as the soldiers looked to their new, terrifying ally for a plan. But Subai didn't see a threat. He saw a prize, a conscious soul, perfect for his banner. He stepped forward, his voice cutting through the chaos. "Stand back. This one is mine. With a soul like this, he could forge an army of truly intelligent undead. He sent his puppets to test the knight's defenses. The fiend and the snake struck in unison, a pincer attack of demonic force. The knight finally understood. This was no mortal, but a rival for its throne. It swatted them aside like flies, declaring itself the true lord of the undead. It gathered its power, preparing to show this upstart what real necromancy looked like. Subai watched, intrigued. For a simple undead, this creature was surprisingly powerful. From the rooftops, another power watched the battle unfold. He smirked. This one would make a fine prize for his lord. The scout relayed the cultivator's abilities to his unseen master. The command for death was given, but another hunter had already claimed the prey, the bone fiend lord. The skeletal warrior descended, its mere presence sowing terror among the survivors. Amid the chaos, Wankyu clung to the only anchor she knew, pledging her loyalty. Subai assessed his new foe. Even weakened, he was confident this would be an easy victory. He summoned a new weapon, a blade of light and technology. And with it, he manifested his will, a colossal spirit warrior that dwarfed the city. The giant's sword came down, but the Bone Fiend Lord met the strike with its shield. The impact shuddered through its bones, the force greater than it anticipated. It stared in awe, recognizing the rare power. A nascent soul secret technique. The soldiers could only watch, their minds struggling to comprehend the battle of gods before them. Subai felt the strain on his spiritual energy, but the prize was worth the cost. Outmatched, the Bone Fiend Lord made its decision. Survival was paramount. But Subai had no intention of letting it escape. The blade erupted in flames. He unleashed his trump card, the Phoenix Fury. A colossal bird of fire descended, consuming everything in its path. The skeletal warrior froze, its mind reeling from the new, terrifying power. It screamed, realizing too late the divine nature of the weapon it had challenged. The flames slammed into it, a wave of pure destruction. The onlookers stared, wondering what kind of man could command such a celestial beast. The battle won, he moved to claim his prize, but the Lord's will was strong. It weighed its options. Servitude to this new master was better than returning to the old one. The pact was sealed, a new soul bound to his banner. The fight took its toll, but the system confirmed his victory and subsequent level up. The Bone Fiend Lord, now bound to the staff, offered its power to its new master. He accepted, its energy surging through him, pushing him to the mid-stage of foundation building. He smirked. The 10,000 Souls banner had made him stronger than ever. He acknowledged his new servant's cunning. The Bone Fiend Lord pledged its loyalty, asking only for trust. The skeleton knew his new master had been a god once, and he would be again. And in his service, he would find the path to his own restoration. But the battle had cost him. Wankyu saw the blood on his lips. The reasons for his fall from grace were irrelevant now. All that mattered was understanding this new world and plundering it for its power. He gave the order. The soldiers would lead him to his prize. The undead horde parted before them, bowing to a greater power. But their persistence annoyed him. His new servant sensed his displeasure. The Bone Fiend Lord grew to its full, terrifying height, a titan of bone and shadow. It roared a command that shook the city. "Kneel before your new lord." The horde trembled under the weight of its authority. And as one, they fell to their knees, clearing a path for the master. The soldiers could only stare, their minds breaking at the sight of a man who commanded legions of the dead. But the teacher saw something else. Not a monster, but perhaps a hero for a broken world. Elsewhere, the news traveled fast. A robed master received the report. The Bone Fiend Lord, his powerful servant, had been defeated. His subordinate offered undeniable proof, captured from the battlefield. The master recognized the techniques, the manifestation of heaven and earth, the Phoenix Fury sword. Another heard the news. Her master had arrived. It was time to find her sisters, and in the deepest shadows, a final order was given. The moment he enters the prison lands, kill him. Outside the besieged building, the dead waited. Inside, the living found a sliver of hope in the power they witnessed. But a new threat descended from the heavens, a falling star of ill omen. Before it could strike, the master's shield was already in place. The Bone Fiend Lord met the attack, its shield deflecting the blow. The attacker pressed on, a whirlwind of deadly steel. He stared in disbelief. The Netherbone Yin Lord, alive and serving another. The Lord stood his ground, a loyal guardian. Leave now, and you may live. The attacker only sneered. And who are you to command me? He summoned his own legion of the dead, promising them a feast. Subai sized up his opponent, a blood zombie, peak of Foundation establishment, a worthy opponent. He turned to Lin Wangqiu. Watch closely. This is how you fight. The fiery phoenix returned, and with it, a strange sense of familiarity washed over the teacher. Wangqiu recognized the divine power, but the memories it stirred remained just out of reach. Caught in the phoenix's aura, the blood zombie was frozen in place, helpless. Subai turned to his servant. Old Yin, he is yours. The skeleton lord smiled, a grotesque display of gratitude. Thank you, master. He lunged, eager to destroy the scum who dared challenge his new lord. The kill was swift, the experience points absorbed, but it wasn't enough to level up. The banner's requirements were growing steeper. He offered the corpse to his servant, a reward for his loyalty. Old Yin knelt, his loyalty absolute. I will serve you until the end of time. He absorbed the power, grateful he had chosen the winning side. His own power surged, breaking through to the Golden Core realm. The survivors cheered, believing the battle was finally over. Their celebration was cut short by a new sound from above. Something shattered the windows, a new nightmare crashing the party. A winged skeleton landed, a creature of bone and shadow. Old Yin recognized its power instantly, warning his master of the immense threat. Where the others saw only death, Subai saw another stepping stone on his path to power. He remembered its last appearance. It had slaughtered an entire team of the city's strongest fighters, but the old man held on to his faith. He believed in the young man's power. From his hidden perch, the true master of the beast watched, eager to test his new creation. The bone bird man shrieked, its gaze locking onto the one being it considered prey. It tensed its powerful wings, preparing to dive. And then there were five, a kaleidoscope of death closing in from all sides. The red clone attacked first, unleashing a crippling sonic scream. The sound wave brought the mortals to their knees in agony. Old Yin quickly identified the threat, each clone possessing a different, deadly power. Subai felt his spiritual energy suppressed, a perfect setup for a combined killing blow. He gave the order. You handle the sonic one. I'll take the rest. The Bone Fiend Lord intercepted the first clone, its shield holding firm against the razor-sharp wings. It met the second's charge with a brutal counter, shattering its attack. Subai tracked the purple clone, anticipating its lightning-fast assault, but another blade entered the fight. A red-haired warrior pledging his sword to his master, he unleashed a vortex of steel, a named technique aimed at the purple beast. The attack found its mark, sending the clone reeling. But in that brief opening, another clone struck true, tearing through Subai's defenses. The sonic suppression was draining him. Using his ultimate technique now was a gamble he might not survive. But he had no other choice. He grit his teeth, fighting through the sonic assault that tore at his very soul. From a high perch, the true master gave the order to advance. The city became a slaughterhouse as his creations descended on the helpless. The sound was a physical weight, pressing down on him, trying to crush his will. He was forced to a knee, but his defiance burned brighter than ever. The enemy commander mocked him from afar, enjoying the show. He effortlessly parried an attack, his focus entirely on the man he was breaking. Paralyzed by the sonic cry, the civilians could only wait for death. The purple-haired man savored the moment, preferring a slow, torturous victory. From the broken building, a desperate voice cried out, pleading for him to save his daughter and flee. Pushed to his limit, he decided it was time to reveal another card. A simple wooden stick flew through the air, propelled by an impossible force. It found its mark, shattering the skull of the creature generating the sonic attack. And in the sudden silence, a new player leaped into the fray. Her kick landed with the force of a meteor, crushing bone and sinew. The sonic assault was over. A woman had turned the tide. She stood over her kill, radiating an aura of pure, untamed power. He thanked her for the assist, but her eyes were on the weapon that had felled the beast. The enemy commander realized his key piece was gone, and his anger boiled over. He turned his rage on his own defeated minion, a brutal punishment for its failure. But his blade never landed, stopped by a flash of light. Subai stood over the fallen creature. Without their scream, they are nothing. The true master recognized the woman. The plan had changed. Kill them all. The remaining clones received their new orders, their backup plan now active. The old man sighed in relief, believing the worst was over, but the true targets were not the fighters on the street. Li Jingya screamed as the monsters dove for the warehouse for her father. Subai gave the command. His asset had to be protected. Old Yin stepped forward, a skeletal guardian ready to meet the challenge. He met the diving attack head-on, a shield of bone and will against the storm. The beast broke through the wall, bringing the fight directly to the helpless survivors. It brought with it a cloud of death, a toxic green mist. The creature laughed, reveling in the slow, agonizing death it unleashed. The mist settled over them, a suffocating shroud from which there was no escape. Her father choked, his last breath a desperate call for his daughter. Jingya raced towards the building, heedless of the warnings about the deadly poison. She was just in time to watch her father die. In that moment of grief and rage, something inside her broke, unleashing a storm of purple energy. Her power erupted without control. It was an awakening, born of tragedy. He caught her as she fell, dismissing the chaotic energy as mere child's play. One of his followers moved to contain the blast, raising a protective barrier. But he had a better use for it. Raw power was nothing without proper guidance. Wanju watched him, and the scene felt strangely familiar, an echo from a forgotten life. A vision flashed in her mind, him with another woman, and a feeling she couldn't name stirred in her heart. It was a confusing, unwelcome emotion, a feeling that tasted sour. A new power arrived, landing with earth-shattering force. Subai encouraged Teacher Li to unleash the ability she had just awoken. The beast taunted them from above, confident in its aerial superiority, but Li Jingya spoke, and her words became a command. Reality itself bent to her will, ensnaring the creature in a purple aura. It plummeted from the sky, its wings suddenly useless. The display of power left the hidden observer stunned. The soldiers stared in disbelief. Did she just talk it out of the sky? She explained her power was simple. What she says becomes truth. Subai issued his orders. Old Yin would finish the job while she attended to her father. The Bone Fiend Lord eagerly accepted its task. It brought its club down with crushing finality. The banner's chains lashed out, claiming another soul for the master. The distant master of the beast was shocked by the defeat, but his primary mission was still intact. The system confirmed the capture. The banner of 10,000 souls grew stronger. Old Yin mocked the new captive, telling it to be grateful for its new servitude. But Subai had a more practical use for it, the antidote for the poison. Under threat of annihilation, the spirit revealed the cure. Teacher Luai raced against time. She burst into the room to find her father on the brink of death. She pushed her power to its limit, commanding the poison to leave his body. She watched, pouring her will into his survival. But her power came at a terrible price. The backlash struck her down. Subai explained the danger of her power. Every truth she speaks is paid for with her own life force. His own companions warned him of the strain of his recent battles. He summoned his newest puppet, its poison now repurposed for healing. Green energy flowed into the dying man, a reversal of the creature's original purpose. The puppet transferred its life-giving essence directly. His life was saved, but the damage to his soul was severe. When he would wake was anyone's guess. Jingya could only weep, her victory overshadowed by uncertainty and loss. Master, Q began, then faltered. There's an energy source on him. The words slipped out again, leaving her flustered and questioning her own mind. In the unconscious man's hand was a stone, glowing with an intense green light. Subai's eyes widened. It was a high-grade spirit stone, a treasure he never expected to find here. He handed it to Q, a test of the ability she claimed to possess. She focused, and the stone responded, its power swirling around her. Her eyes snapped open, glowing with the stone's verdant energy. She pointed east. The source is 20 to 30 kilometers that way. With his prize located, it was time to move, but Jingya chose to remain with her father. Their departure was halted by a woman in a black bodysuit. Blocking their path, she smiled flirtatiously. "Can I borrow your weapon?" Intrigued, he agreed. He offered the staff, placing the Bone Fiend Lord's power in her hands. Her hand closed around the hilt, her intentions masked. She was shocked by his trust, confessing her ability to absorb a weapon's spirit for her own gain. A flicker of doubt, then resolve. Whatever. She smirked. Why wait? The power would be hers, right now. She reached out, her power grasping for the soul within the staff. But the weapon's spirit fought back, a vicious backlash coursing through her body. The feedback slammed her to her knees, her own ability turned against her. She couldn't understand. Impossible. Why did it fail? Another of his companions stepped forward, offering a different blade. Try this one. Your weapons, she gasped. They're not normal. Why was he so confident? Was he not afraid she would steal its power? She took the sword, her skepticism warring with the undeniable aura it possessed. The moment her fingers touched the hilt, a divine phoenix erupted in a torrent of flame. The sheer force of it threw her back, blood spilling from her lips. One weapon holds a soul, another a divine beast. Just who was this man? He watched her fall. Her power was to devour a weapon's spirit, but she had tried to swallow the sun. Attempting to absorb a divine artifact with her meager power was like a stream, trying to consume the ocean. Humbled and defeated, she returned the blade. Your weapons are truly magnificent. Join me, he offered, and every weapon we find will be yours to devour. The deal was struck. A new, powerful ally had joined their ranks. Did you see old Yin? While she was distracted, I drained her spiritual power for the master. Well done, Subai acknowledged. Your loyalty will be rewarded with the souls of our enemies. The stolen energy surged through him, pushing his cultivation to the advanced foundation establishment realm. With their business concluded, the group departed, leaving the stunned survivors behind. Elsewhere, a group of cultivators watched a distant barrier. The master is still trapped. How can this be? In the heart of the city, the apocalypse raged on as the dead feasted on the wealthy elite. It's over, an old patriarch wept. The heavens have abandoned my family. But a flash of steel cut through the chaos, a whirlwind of death carving a path through the horde. It's him, he's here! The survivors cried out, hope rekindled by the swordsman's arrival. He approached Lin Wangqiu. It's been a long time. She knew him, yet she didn't. Don't you recognize your senior brother, junior sister? The words were a key, unlocking a flood of forgotten memories. A life she lived before, her true master. Senior brother, she whispered, the name feeling right on her tongue for the first time. Her eyes blazed with newfound clarity and power. I remember everything. Her senior brother nodded, satisfied. With your memories and divination arts restored, we can finally begin. The ancient coins danced at her command, charting a course through the chaos of fate. In another part of the city, Jinga placed a protective ward over her father. Wait for me. I will end this. Her path, and that of her own senior brother, led them to a blasted wasteland, the domain of their target. Our mission is simple, she said, her voice cold. We kill our former master and save this world. She clenched her fist. He was a man I respected. Now, I will commit righteous patricide. They agreed on the plan. First, secure the spirit stones, then deliver the final judgment. From a high vantage point, another player watched the board, utterly confident in his own victory. Subai, the master. Once I have what I need from both of you, I can finally go home. Meanwhile, Subai's group walked through a city of screams, where the living were losing their war against the dead. We have to help them, his new companion pleaded. He didn't even look back. Don't be naive. We are not saviors, he stated flatly. We are survivors. Our only goal is the spirit stone source. She looked at his back, a chill running down her spine that had nothing to do with the dead. A tremor in the earth announced a new arrival, an army of bone marching in perfect unison. At its head rode the man with glasses, his gaze fixed on the travelers. I finally found you, the necromancer sneered. The ones who killed my generals. From the banner, old Yin's voice echoed with derision. Such rudeness. Did your master teach you no manners? Subai's eyes narrowed. Another obstacle to be ground into dust. The captured spirit knelt before its replacement. I renounce my former lord. I serve only Master Subai now, Subai addressed his staff. Eager for a reunion, old Yin? The skull's eyes flared with anticipation. Go, he commanded. His two undead generals charged forward, a tide of bone and malice. The necromancer on his skeletal steed simply smirked. "How presumptuous!" His voice echoed, not in their ears, but in their minds. "You dare raise your blades against your true master? Watch out!" the blonde woman shouted. "His power attacks the mind." She charged, refusing to be a victim of mental tricks. "Let's see you handle a direct assault." He seemed almost amused by her audacity. So crude. Her charge faltered as his power slammed into her consciousness, her bravado replaced by sheer terror. She collapsed to the ground, completely incapacitated and trapped in a nightmare of his making. Lost in the illusion, she could only cry out for a mother she hadn't seen in years. Old Yin, Subai asked his staff, "His power is illusion." "More than that, master. His every cell, his very voice exudes mental control. He is the illusion." Subai's confidence was unshaken. Mental attacks are just noise, and noise can be blocked. He moved through a series of hand seals, wrapping himself in a cloak of silent, unfeeling energy. First, he sealed away the sense of hearing. Then, he severed his sense of touch. The necromancer laughed from his steed. "You've blinded yourself. How do you intend to fight now?" A blade of pure fire answered him. "By not fighting an illusion. Worry about yourself." The divine flames of the phoenix sword consumed the necromancer and his mount completely. But as the fire died down, Subai's eyes narrowed. Something was wrong. "Did you really think it would be that easy?" The necromancer's voice was right behind him. With a casual wave of his hand, he gave a new command. "Rise, my soldiers." The very ground erupted as skeletal hands clawed their way out, forming a cage of bone around them. Trapped in their own minds, his companions screamed as they were overwhelmed by phantom beasts. The Weapon Eater could only cradle the terrified Wankyu, trying to shield her from a horror only they could see. "Master, we are in his domain," Old Yin warned. "His mental control is absolute here." Subai focused his will, his own spiritual power flaring to life as a beacon against the encroaching darkness. Far away, another master floated above his temple, his own followers kneeling in perfect adoration. "Master," they chanted in unison, their wills completely subsumed by his own. The necromancer laughed, savoring his victory. "It's over. Your companions are broken, and you are next." Subai smirked. An impressive illusion. But every illusion has a master, and every master has a weakness. He projected a memory, a scene pulled from the necromancer's own mind, a master instructing his student. The necromancer froze, his confidence shattering. "Master Shen Yunbin, what is this trick?" "Wait," he stammered, the impossible truth dawning on him. "The disciple is you?" From within the illusion, the projected master turned, his gaze piercing through the layers of reality. The illusion spoke, its voice dripping with authority. "You dare address me, subordinate?" Even Subai was surprised. The projection had its own consciousness. It scoffed at his shock. The Phantom Master summoned his flaming sword, a weapon of pure will forged to destroy mental constructs. His strike didn't hit the man, but the world around him, shattering the necromancer's domain. "My target was never you," Subai explained calmly. "It was your illusion." With his mental world in ruins, the necromancer was helpless, a blade already at his throat. "You betrayed your master, Shen Yunbin," Subai stated. "You were never loyal to him at all." His undead servants materialized behind him, awaiting the order to execute the traitor. But the necromancer just laughed. "My illusion is broken, but you'll never catch me." He dissolved into a blur of motion, his speed far exceeding that of a normal cultivator. "You think my only power was illusion?" He cackled from a distance, gathering a new, darker energy. "What an honor to kill the teacher of my own master!" He lunged, his true power finally unleashed. "Old Yin," Subai said to his staff, "you were once his subordinate, you know his weakness." The skull's eye glowed in affirmation. "Good, then we attack his soul consciousness directly." He thrust the banner forward, unleashing a maelstrom of shadow and souls. "Old Yin, handle it." The necromancer taunted them, his fan a blur of motion. "Is this all the power your new master gave you?" Old Yin met the assault with a snarl, his blade holding firm against the storm. The bone bird screeched, adding its own fury to the pincer attack. Su Haoji felt a surge of power from his opponents that made him pause. He stared in disbelief. "The Golden Core Realm? Impossible! Our new master rewards loyalty!" Old Yin roared, pressing the attack alongside his fellow servant. They stood over their fallen foe. "It's over, Su Haoji. Surrender to the master," he smirked from the ground. "You're nothing but a dog, drunk on a power that isn't yours." With a burst of speed, he tried to break free from their grasp. The blow landed, but a shimmer of light protected him. "You can't kill me. My treasure won't allow it." Frustration twisted his features. He would have to concede for now. A voice spoke from behind him, cold and final. "Leaving so soon?" His fan was stopped dead by a simple club. "Who?" She disarmed him with one blow and brought him to his knees with the next. As she caught the fan, its spirit cried out, pouring into her in a torrent of raw power. She planted her foot on the now dull artifact, its master kneeling before her in defeat. He clutched his chest, the spiritual connection to his weapon severed completely. "No!" Her kick was a final, brutal exclamation point. "Die!" She tossed the drained fan aside. "Thank you for the meal, Mr. Subai." The soul of the defeated necromancer, now a captive spirit, shrieked as it was ripped into the banner. Old Yin immediately turned on the new soul, his greed overriding his loyalty. "You're mine." He loomed over the fresh captive. "I will devour your soul and take your power." But the bone bird intercepted him. "Traitor, that soul belongs to the master." The two servants faced off, their own battle ready to erupt over the spoils. Subai's voice cut through their squabble, calm and absolute. "Enough. Split it." The command was instantly obeyed. "Yes, master." Old Yin marveled at his master's wisdom. He kept them both fed and both in check. He greedily consumed his share of the necromancer's soul energy. The taste was exquisite, a surge of pure power that left them reeling with pleasure. They offered the choicest portion to their lord. "A gift, master, for your generosity." The offering pushed him to the peak of the Foundation establishment realm. His power soared. With his newfound strength, he expanded his sea of consciousness, reaching out across the desolate land. He focused, his mind's eye searching for the source of the Spirit Stone's energy. A connection sparked. He had found it, a cave brimming with unimaginable power. But others had arrived first. Jingya and her senior brothers stood at the entrance, feeling the dense spiritual energy. "My subordinate is dead," the man noted calmly. Jingya could only marvel at his sensory prowess. They ventured inside, the walls glittering with a fortune in high-grade spirit stones. "The stones are merely a byproduct," he explained. "The true treasure is the spirit spring that created them." Deeper in, they found it, a massive crystalline spring pulsing with pure, liquid spiritual power. Jingya was awestruck. "This is but one of many I know of," he boasted. Suddenly, her expression sharpened. "Someone's coming." "Let them," her companion said with utter confidence. "They will only see what I want them to see." He extended his hand, weaving a potent illusion to greet their uninvited guests. As Subai's companion stepped into the cave's aura, the illusion took hold, turning them against each other with phantom greed. Unaware of the mental trap, Subai and his party arrived at the glowing mouth of the cave. Wanchu pointed, her senses confirming the location. "The energy is densest inside. This is the place." With his prize in sight, Subai stepped forward, leading his companions directly into the ambush. They entered the cave. The spirit stones had been looted, but the air was still thick with a potent, lingering energy. "Wanqiu, lead the way," Subai instructed. "This energy feels like a spiritual spring." The other woman didn't know what a spiritual spring was, but from his expression, she knew it was a treasure. Within the banner, the captive souls trembled with excitement. Such pure energy could elevate them to new heights. From deeper within the cave, the sounds of a fierce battle echoed through the tunnels. They found two men locked in a brutal struggle, screaming at each other over the rights to phantom weapons. The woman recognized them instantly. "Iron arms and bronze legs, two of the strongest mutants. They say they're indestructible," she added. "They've even survived rocket launchers." Subai made a quick assessment. In a straight fight, they were likely stronger than him, but they were fighting over a simple wooden stick. She realized the truth. They're trapped in an illusion. Wanqiu ignored the fight, pointing past them. "The source is just ahead." She paused. "This energy, it feels so familiar." The comment piqued Subai's interest. Then he understood. The illusion, the familiar energy. Shen Yunbin. His traitorous disciple was here. The fighting mutants noticed their audience and came to a mutual agreement. Eliminate the spectators first. Iron arms and bronze legs charged, their combined might aimed at the newcomers. The weapon eater grinned. feeling the ambient energy coursing through her. "Allow me." She met their charge, moving with a speed that defied belief. Her club became a blur, skillfully parrying and deflecting blows from both powerful mutants at once, but Bronze Legs was too strong, his armored hand catching her weapon mid-swing. He grunted in appreciation. "Impressive. You must be the one they call the Artifact King." Subai watched from the sidelines, a confident smirk on his face. This was a perfect test of her limits. "But skill alone is not enough," Bronze Legs roared, his fist crashing through her guard. She twisted away from his punch, simultaneously evading a flying kick from Iron Arms. In that brief opening, she countered, her own kick landing with devastating force and sending Iron Arms screaming. Her victory was cut short. A single, brutal kick from Bronze Legs shattered her defenses, severing her meridians. Subai moved in a flash, catching her as she fell. "I will heal you." He leapt away with her, leaving his two undead servants a simple command: "Kill them!" The two powerful mutants suddenly found themselves overwhelmed by a tide of skeletal horrors. Old Yin contemptuously blocked a desperate blow, his raw power far eclipsing theirs. In a quiet corner of the cave, Subai laid her down gently and began the delicate process of mending her shattered spirit. "This will be painful," he warned her. "Brace yourself." Life energy, repurposed from his poisoned puppet, gathered at his fingertips. He placed his hand on her chest, pouring the volatile energy into her broken body. Her scream echoed through the cave as her meridians were forcibly knit back together. But the agony quickly gave way to a soothing warmth. Who was this man, who could wield both death and life? The realization hit her like a physical blow. The demon who commanded skeletons was also a healer. From the shadows, a jealous whisper. "He's alone with another one." Wan Chi watched, a familiar, sour feeling churning in her gut. Back in the fray, Old Yin was getting battered. "Bronze Legs, stop those screeching pests!" The mutant responded with a single, earth-shattering stomp. The shockwave alone was enough to obliterate one of the lesser skeletons. He smirked. Much better. Then he turned his attention back to Old Yin, his punch landing with the force of a battering ram. Iron Arms tore through another of the skeleton soldiers, its final shriek one of disbelief. He shattered its bones with contemptuous ease. The Bone Bird watched in horror. These mortals were monsters. "My old bones can't take much more of this," Old Yin complained as the pummeling continued. Iron Arms leaped into the air. "Come down here and fight, you cowards!" Deep within the cave, bathing in the spirit spring, Jinga's eyes snapped open. She felt the battle and a familiar, terrifying presence. "It's him," she told her companion. "Master is here. We have to break through now." Inside the spirit spring, Jinga felt the shift. "It's over. Master has dealt with them." Shen Yunbin smirked. "Good. Now that I've reached the Golden Core, I can slaughter them all myself." Fueled by rage, Iron Arms unleashed his full power, punching clean through the fleshy wall of the illusion. He emerged into the real cave, where Subai gave him a new target. "They trapped you. Kill them." "I don't hit women," he roared, leaping past Jingya to attack her companion. But Shen Yunbin, now in the Golden Core realm, easily dodged the furious assault. Jingya stepped in, her glowing coins forming a protective barrier. She unleashed the full force of her divination arts, no longer a simple ward but a potent attack. A star of pure energy slammed into the mutant, overwhelming his famed defenses. He cried out, his indestructible body smoking and broken. The mighty Iron Arms collapsed, defeated by a power he couldn't comprehend. The onlookers were stunned. Wang Qiu felt another pang of familiarity at the sight of the coin magic. The two turned to Subai. "Master," they said in unison. "So," he replied, "our reunion begins with violence." He then turned to Wang Qiu. "And you, senior sister, do you remember them?" The title sent a shock through her mind. She screamed, clutching her head as conflicting memories tore her consciousness apart. "Who are you people?" The Weapon Eater watched the chaotic scene. What kind of messed up organization had she just joined? From the banner, the captive souls whispered, "That's him, our sovereign's master." Subai's gaze hardened as he faced his former disciple. "You plotted my murder. You used Su Haoji. You betrayed me, Shen Yunbin." A voice from the past echoed in his mind, full of betrayal. "After 867 years, this is how you repay me?" Shen Yunbin showed no remorse. "Enough talk, old man. Let's see if you're still worthy of the title of master. Jingya turned her cold gaze on the confused Wang Qiu. Senior sister, choose a side, stand with master, or be eliminated. Her mind was a storm, but her body acted on instinct. She stood between Jingya and the man she now chose to trust. Jingya was enraged. You dare protect him? But Wang Qiu's conviction was absolute. You are the ones who betray. I don't know who is right, she declared, but I believe in Mr. Su. I will protect him with my life. Then die with him, Jingya screamed, unleashing a deadly volley of golden coins, but the attack never landed. Fu Yingyun entered the fray, her club deflecting the assault. She met the storm of coins head-on, a whirlwind of defensive strikes. She grinned, finding the whole situation amusing. Fighting over a man? How boring. Jingya's patience was gone. Stay out of this, she warned, gathering her power for another strike. Die! She shrieked, launching a second, more powerful barrage. The golden projectiles filled the air, a deadly, glittering swarm. Fu Yingyun held her ground. My staff is a treasure too, you know? But even a treasure has its limits. She felt the weapon cracking under the strain. While the women fought, Subai turned his attention to the fallen mutant, Iron Arms. He channeled his power, not to destroy, but to remake. Life energy flowed into the corpse. Iron Arms stood once more, blinking in confusion between his two former skeletal opponents. I can give you an undying body, Subai offered. All you must do is serve me. Old Yin and the Bone Bird watched. Looks like we have a new brother. To live again, to fight again. The choice was easy. I accept. I will serve you, master. Subai mused to himself. Perhaps this new, more benevolent management style had its merits. From now on, you are not just servants, but companions, he announced. Your rewards will be based on your contributions. The three servants cheered, their loyalty absolute. Even Iron Arms had to admit, this new boss seemed decent. Now, go, he commanded, assigning each of his new followers an opponent. Fu Yingyun waved off the offered assistance. I've got this, she yelled, still locked in battle with Jingya. Jingya broke away from her, her acrobatic kick shattering the ground where old Yin stood. You follow a demonic master, she accused the skeleton. I will purify every last spirit in his banner. Lightning crackled around her. Let's see how you handle a move I learned from him. She unleashed her ultimate technique, Treasure Fall. A giant golden coin materialized in the air above old Yin. A cruel, confident grin spread across her face as she brought the weight of her power down. Old Yin buckled, his skeletal frame groaning under the immense spiritual pressure. The weight! It's incredible! Meanwhile, Iron Arms charged at Shen Yunbin. You're the one who trapped me in that illusion. Iron Arms stared down the man who had tricked him, his rage palpable. But before he could land a blow, his body seized and he collapsed, a puppet whose strings had been cut. He was mine to command, Subai said, his voice dangerously calm. Shen Yunbin sneered. Then let's see if the master can still best the student. Draw your sword. He didn't wait for an answer, unleashing a devastating slash that tore the very earth asunder. Wan Chu gasped. Such power from a single sword strike? You recognize it, don't you? Subai said. Sword fall, the ultimate sword technique. But for every ultimate sword, there is an ultimate shield. He summoned his own blades, forming a defensive matrix. The swords converged into a shimmering barrier. The sword wall! Shen Yunbin's attack slammed into the wall, the explosion shaking the entire cave. But master, Wan Chu worried, your cultivation is lower than his. The clash of familiar techniques sent a jolt through her mind, forgotten memories clawing their way to the surface. Her memory is returning, Shen Yunbin noted, pressing his advantage with a flurry of sword projections. The phantom blades hammered against the sword wall in a violent torrent of steel and light. He poured all of his golden core power into the assault, determined to break through. The sword wall held, a testament to its creator's superior understanding. But under the relentless barrage, cracks began to spiderweb across its surface. Your sword is sharp, Shen Yunbin, Subai stated, as his opponent's blade began to fracture. But it is brittle. Shen Yunbin's eyes widened in disbelief. His own power turned back on him, his sword shattering as he was thrown backward in a cascade of broken steel. Wang Qiu and Fu Yingyun could only stare. His power was simply unfathomable. Watching from the side, Jifei Shui thought, he's always full of surprises. But it doesn't change anything. A wicked man like him must be killed. A low chuckle came from the armored skeleton. Heh, little girl, he will always be your master. Shen Yunbin staggered to his feet, a cruel smirk on his face. Master, do you remember the first thing you taught me? All is fair in war. Subai stood unmoving as the shards of his opponent's sword rained harmlessly around him. A few stray fragments grazed his cheek, drawing the first blood of the fight. Using a cheap trick like that banner? Have you no honor? Shen sneered. The only thing that matters is the result, Subai replied. Then let's see the result of this. With a furious roar, he brought his broken blade down on Subai's head. Master! Wan Chu screamed. His skeletal followers watched in horror. It's over! The sovereign is done for! Jifei Shui's eyes narrowed. Yes, even a dishonorable blow is a good move, so long as it kills him. The blade was stopped cold, met by a pair of crossed, armored gauntlets. Iron Arms was back on his feet. How is he? Wan Chu gasped. He was on the ground! Get out of the way! Jifei Shui shrieked, furious at the interference. The mutant's metallic muscles strained, holding back the full force of a golden core cultivator. Shen Yunbin's eyes widened. Impossible! How can a mere mutant resist my power? You are not my master, Iron Arms bellowed. I serve him now! He drove his fist forward, sending Shen Yunbin flying. My iron fists were forged in battle. And they will not bow to your tricks, he roared, slamming his fist into Shen's back. The ground shattered as Shen Yunbin was driven into the rock face. The armored skeleton watched, his jaw agape in awe. Incredible! On the other side of the cavern, an immense pressure began to build. Grah! Mingjun roared, his bones glowing with power beneath the golden coin. I will break your treasure. With a final, explosive effort, he shattered the treasure fall technique. Zhengya stared in disbelief as the skeleton rose, now free and wielding a massive club. The bone bird landed on his shoulder. Brother Mingjun, let's get her! Screech! You dare hurt my brother? The bone bird dove at Zhengya's face. Annoying pests, she snarled, her hands crackling with golden lightning. She slammed another electrified coin into Mingjun, sending him staggering back. To break my control, impressive for a mere mutant, Shen Yunbin conceded, wiping blood from his lip. His eyes hardened. For that, I will make you beg for death. A storm of phantom blades erupted, slashing into Iron Arms. The mutant was thrown back, slamming hard against the cavern wall. But in that moment, something whipped through the air with impossible speed. The immortal binding rope? Shen Yunbin cried out as the artifact coiled around him. Subai held the rope tight. He's all yours, Iron Arms. Thank you, Sovereign, the mutant replied, his loyalty absolute. With a roar of pent-up rage, he charged his helpless foe. His first punch landed squarely on Shen Yunbin's face. He followed with a brutal, unending barrage of blows. Yes, get him! Fu Yingyun and Wan Chu cheered from the sidelines. Iron Arms paused. The impact felt wrong. His foe's face was denting like clay. The group gathered around the now unrecognizable figure. It wasn't a man at all. A spirit manifestation, Subai explained. A costly technique. This was just a puppet. Deeper in the cave, the real Shen Yunbin stood beside Zhengya. Enough hiding behind ghosts and artifacts, master. Face me. Subai smirked. Hiding? I was merely warming up. Master, don't fall for his provocations, Wan Qiu pleaded. You're too noisy, junior sister. Shen Yunbin snarled, his patience gone. He threw his sword with lethal force. Shut up! Wan Qiu froze, paralyzed by the sheer killing intent aimed directly at her. We can't block it, the skeletons cried in despair. In a flash, Subai slammed his own massive blade into the ground, not to defend, but into the spirit spring itself. Shen Yunbin smirked. Fool, my flying sword is unstoppable. But before it could find its mark, a gleaming golden coin appeared, deflecting the blade. The unexpected intervention sent Shen Yunbin stumbling back. Senior brother, what are you doing? Zhengya demanded. She's useless, he spat back. Zhengya stared at him, a cold unfamiliarity in his eyes. He quickly changed his tone. Forgive me. I lost my temper. Thank you for stopping me, junior sister. Her doubts subsided. This was the man she respected. Subai's sword remained planted in the spring, its purpose still a mystery. Sovereign, why did you throw your sword away? Old Yin asked, as confused as Wankyu. Have you gone mad, master? Shen Yunbin mocked, throwing your divine weapon into the spring? His laughter died in his throat as the placid surface of the spring began to ripple. The water churned violently, boiling from an unseen source of power below. A massive pillar of fire erupted from the spot where the sword had vanished. The flames coalesced, taking the form of a magnificent, roaring phoenix. A true phoenix, the skeletons gasped. That ancient aura, it's real. Fu Yingyun stared in awe. That sword, the one I tried to eat, it held a phoenix spirit? Impossible, Shen Yunbin yelled. There isn't enough spiritual energy in this world to manifest a divine beast. A spirit spring cannot exist without a guide, Subai explained calmly. Something to anchor its power. Jingya's eyes widened in realization. The only thing that could do that is spirit rhinoceros crystal. Useless to cultivators, Fu Yingyun added, but the ultimate material for nurturing a divine weapon. Jingya looked from the phoenix to Subai, her mind reeling at his foresight. With a world-shaking cry, the phoenix took flight, bathing the cavern in fire. Shen Yunbin could only watch in rage and disbelief as the divine fire washed over him. He and Jingya were thrown back, helpless against the raw power of a true divine beast. The flame phoenix holy fire, Shen Yunbin gasped. Its power is immense. Xiao Shui, we must retreat. We cannot win this fight. But as they turned to flee, the immortal binding rope snaked out, ensnaring them both. Bound and defeated, Shen Yunbin could only look at the ground in shame. Subai let the rope go slack, allowing them to be dragged away by the retreating phoenix spirit. You've won for now, master, Shen Yunbin yelled as he was pulled into the darkness. But this isn't over. Why did you let them go? Fu Yingyun demanded. We had them, Subai sighed. My divine weapon has not fully recovered its power. The massive phoenix dissolved back into the sword. That was just a flicker of its true strength. A bluff, Old Yin chuckled. A formidable empty fort strategy, Sovereign. Truly brilliant. Subai turned to the mutant. And thank you, Iron Arms. You fought well. The simple words shocked the powerful servant. With the battle won, their attention turned back to the treasure at the heart of the cave. Come in, Subai said from the center of the spirit spring. A few hours in here is worth months of cultivation. Fu Yingyun's eyes lit up with greedy excitement. A breakthrough! I need a breakthrough, she yelled, stripping off her clothes as she ran. She took a running leap, aiming right for the center of the spring. One thing, Subai said calmly. This spring is a non-Newtonian fluid. She hit the surface as if it were solid concrete. Ow! Fu Yingyun surfaced, sputtering. Why didn't you warn me? She slammed a fist into the spring's surface. I'm the artifact king! A little fall is nothing. The skeletons, however, were in paradise, hissing and cheering with delight. So comfortable. I can feel my old bones regenerating. Even Iron Arms had to admit. Being a servant wasn't so bad after all. Fu Yingyun's anger melted away as she felt the nourishing energy. I'm about to break through. Wankyu felt a surge of determination. I must awaken too, so I am not a burden to Mr. Su. As she sank into the spring, the energy felt deeply, unnervingly familiar. Something deep within her mind, long dormant, began to stir. A memory surfaced, Master Subai teaching her the profound and terrible arts of creation. Another flash, fighting by his side, the world burning in their wake. The final vision, bringing calamity down upon all living things. Her eyes snapped open, the truth crashing down on her. Master, Subai! She turned on him, her voice trembling with rage. All that suffering, all that destruction, it was you! You are a demon! But Subai didn't hear her. His spiritual power surged, shattering his limits and ascending to the early golden core realm. His senses expanded. The entire cavern laid bare before his consciousness. He could even hear the thoughts of his servants. His new management style was working perfectly. A confident, satisfied smile spread across his face. Wen Xiu watched in horror. In her moment of realization, he had only grown stronger. She pushed through the viscous spring, her purpose now a cold, hard diamond in her soul. Her sword, wreathed in divine flame, appeared in her hand. Phoenix, cry! She leveled the blade at his throat. You are not my master. You should have died in that calamity. Engulfed in righteous fire, she lunged. Give me your life. Little sister Lin, what are you doing? Fu Yingyun screamed in disbelief. Iron Arms stared, dumbfounded by her sudden, immense power. The sovereign can't block this. Old Yin cried out in despair. Subai knew they were right. Even with his breakthrough, her attack was overwhelming. There was only one way to survive. I'll have to self-destruct the golden core. As her blade descended, a desperate, crimson energy began to build within him. Her blade stopped inches from his throat, her eyes wide with the shock that was not her own. Her body went limp, the power draining from her as she collapsed backward. Subai watched, momentarily stunned. She fell face first into the spirit spring, completely unconscious. What happened? Iron Arms stammered, lowering his arms. I was about to block her. Subai's eyes narrowed. This was too convenient. Yin Lord, check on her. The skeletal servant waded through the viscous liquids to the motionless woman. Sovereign, he reported. Her mind was forcibly shut down by a control technique. Subai processed the information, so her memories were not the only thing tampered with. The irony was not lost on him. Shen Yunbin, in trying to control his pawn, had just saved his life. His former disciple had perfected the neural control technique, a double-edged sword that had just cut the wrong way. Subai picked up the Phoenix Cry sword from the spring floor. A tool that can be turned against me is of no use, he said, raising the blade to deliver the final blow. No! Master, don't! His followers cried out in unison. Fu Yingyun threw herself over Wan Qiu's body. Kill me instead. Please, Sovereign, she is innocent. With a sigh of annoyance, Subai tossed the sword aside. Fine, he declared, but if we meet again as enemies, I will not hesitate. They have framed me and turned my own disciples against me, he said, leading his followers from the cave. This is war. We will drain this spirit spring and take the crystal. I will need all the power I can get. Elsewhere, a lone figure swam through a similar verdant spring. So this is the entrance to the other world. His eyes locked onto a glowing formation at the bottom. The spirit rhinoceros crystal. I found it. Subai reached the shimmering barrier at the bottom of the spirit spring. He passed through the crystal grid, stepping into another world. Emerging from the portal, he took his first breath of the alien air. The spiritual energy here was incredibly dense, a thick, glowing fog. But he quickly realized it was toxic, a poison that would kill any normal cultivator. He was confident his demonic physique could resist it, but only for an hour at most. From the swirling mists, a swarm of creatures emerged, their buzzing filling the air. They were monstrous, blood-sucking mosquitoes, each the size of a man's fist. Old Ming, he commanded calmly, clean up this mess. A system notification popped into his mind. He was gaining experience points. These weren't just beasts, they were advanced class monsters. A slow grin spread across his face. This place was a treasure trove. His 10,000 souls banner hummed, eagerly absorbing the souls of the fallen. His other servants feasted on the corpses, their own power growing with every bite. Sovereign, look, Old Ming pointed. More of them are coming. The undead horde charged forward, a tide of bone and steel meeting the insectoid swarm. The banner pulsed. It had leveled up, unlocking a new ability, Soul Grid. Interesting, he mused, raising the staff. Let's see what this does. A cube of light materialized, trapping the mosquito spirits within its shimmering walls. The grid contracted, annihilating the souls in a silent, brutal flash. Back in the cavern, the air was thick with a different kind of tension. Wan Qiu watched Fu Yingyun, who was still relaxing in the spring. Her hand drifted to her sword. She is his accomplice, a villain who must be stopped. Fu Yingyun felt the spike of killing intent. Looks like the little sister isn't so innocent anymore. But Wan Qiu hesitated, watching the other woman simply float in the water. Memories of the chaotic battle flashed through her mind. Was Fu Yingyun truly evil, or just another person caught in his web? She saw her own reflection in the blade, her eyes filled with conflict. She sheathed her sword. No, I cannot kill someone who might be innocent. Fu Yingyun got out of the spring. Hey, where are you going in such a hurry? Wan Qiu, now dressed, stumbled as she walked away. A new, sharp killing intent, not her own, was suddenly fixed upon her. Senior brother wants me dead, but master, the demon, he let me live. The contradiction was a splinter in her mind. A sharp pain lanced through her skull. She reached the cave exit, her resolve hardening. "No, I will trust Senior Brother. We will defeat the Demon Master together." Then she heard it, a cold, familiar laugh echoing in her head. The pain exploded, tearing through her consciousness. A fractured vision. A hero in white, falling from the heavens amidst a murder of crows. Meanwhile, in the toxic realm, Subai sat in calm meditation as his servants slaughtered the last of the swarm. 100 souls, he noted. And these weaklings no longer grant experience. He rose, staff in hand, ready to find a real challenge. The realm obliged, sending a new, larger swarm his way. These were bigger, their abdomens swollen with potent toxic energy. At their head flew a massive beast, its aura marking it as a commander. "Sovereign, its power is immense," Oldian cried out. Subai remained silent. The monster blotted out the dim light, its shadow falling over them. Iron Arms met its charge, his gauntlets barely stopping the creature's piercing proboscis. The force of the blow shattered his guard, sending him reeling back with a cracked arm. "Sovereign, we must withdraw," his servants urged. "This place is not to our advantage." Subai agreed. "My poison resistance is about to expire. We're leaving." But as he turned to the portal, he stopped. He would not leave empty-handed. Not when a treasure was so close. "My poison resistance is failing. It's time to go." He swam for the portal, a calculated retreat. The plan was simple. Lure the beast into his world. He glanced back. The bait had been taken. The mosquito commander burst through the shimmering barrier, intent on the kill. But the moment it crossed over, the creature froze, in confusion. The laws of this world crashed down upon it, its immense power suppressed and its body shrinking rapidly. A predator in one world is just prey in another. His trap had worked perfectly. He leaped from the spring. "Into the banner with you!" Trapped within the soul grid, the commander found itself surrounded by the spirits of its own fallen swarm. The hunter had become the hunted. Its foreign bloodline made it vulnerable. A fatal miscalculation on its part. Exploring other worlds is too risky. For now, I'll focus on conquering the spiritual caves of this one. But first, there were matters to attend to back at the spring. Betrayed and hunted, there is no turning back from this path. I need more power. Old Ming explained the commanding level classification. The Yin Lord projected a catalog of known monster hierarchies from the 10,000 Souls banner, a map of monster territories and spiritual caves. His path to power was laid out before him. He found Fu Yingyun still soaking in the spring's potent energy. "Where is Lin Wanqiu?" he asked. "She left," Fu Yingyun replied. "After she tried to kill me, of course." He looked at her, a grim understanding passing between them. "Once you start down this road, there is no turning back. If she had made a real move, I would have killed her first," she stated, stepping out of the water. "So, where to next, boss?" she asked, falling into step beside him. He pointed towards the distant mountain ranges. "To the next spiritual cave." Their journey to consolidate power had begun. On a remote mountain path, a group of adventurers stumbled upon an unconscious figure. They noted her fine robes and the powerful sword at her side. "She's a mutant, and a strong one." "Bai Yu! Come take a look! See if you can help her!" The white-haired woman pushed through the crowd, her eyes widening in shock as she recognized the face. It was her, the woman from her visions. Their fates were intertwined. Bai Yu placed a hand on the woman's chest, channeling her healing energy into the still form. "Her nerves are in chaos," she diagnosed. "Someone attacked her mind directly." Under the flow of gentle power, the woman's eyelids began to flutter. She groaned, her eyes slowly focusing on the face above her. "Junior sister?" she murmured. Bai Yu recoiled. "How do you know my name?" The question hung in the air. The woman's brow furrowed. She didn't know. She couldn't remember anything. "She's the victim of a vicious mental assault," Bai Yu explained to her companions. "What kind of monster would do this?" Suddenly, the woman cried out, a fresh wave of psychic agony washing over her. She clutched her head as Bai Yu steadied her. "The attack is still active. It was meant to be fatal." Through the pain, a cold realization dawned. "Senior brother. He wants me dead." The pain subsided, replaced by a chilling calm. "My senior brother is trying to kill me," she said, a strange smirk on her face. Bai Yu grabbed her shoulders. "Who is he? And how do you know who I am?" The woman looked away, her confidence shattering. "I don't know. I don't know if I should trust him or my master. Her shoulders slumped in defeat. I don't know who to believe anymore. Then believe in yourself, Baiyu declared. We are mutants. We were born to fight the evil that plagues this world. The words struck a chord deep within her, igniting a forgotten fire. She rose, crackling with power. You're right. I will trust my own strength, and I will save this world. Welcome to the team, Lin Wan Q, the masked man said. Together we will fight the evil that plagues this land. I'm with you, she replied, her eyes filled with a new, unwavering purpose. As they walked the mountain path, she couldn't shake a feeling of familiarity. I've been here before. Meanwhile, at the desolate ruins of Yangshi City. This is the place? Fu Yingyun asked, staring at the decrepit sign. According to the map, the next spiritual cave is right here. Yangshi City, Subai said grimly. 1 million souls perished here in a single day. This is no longer a city. It is hell on earth. He walked into the ruins alone. Hey, wait for me, Fu Yingyun called out, hurrying to catch up. It's fine, she thought. After absorbing the spirit spring's energy, I can protect myself. Her confidence lasted until she saw the sea of undead shambling toward them. There must be thousands of them, she whispered, her hand instinctively going to her artifacts. Subai just smirked. His 10,000 souls banner was already humming with anticipation. Yu King, he commanded. Show me what you can do. The mosquito commander emerged, now crackling with dark lightning, larger and more terrifying than before. It tore through the horde like a scythe through wheat, a whirlwind of death and destruction. Such power, Old Yin gasped. It's already stronger than us. Iron Arms clenched his fists. The sovereign had raised the bar yet again. Well, Fu Yingyun said, lowering her hands. I guess I was worried for nothing. You've done well, Subai told the mosquito spirit. Keep this up and you'll be a boss-level servant in no time. The Gu King bowed its head in fealty, taking its place among the other loyal undead. A hand suddenly shot up from a nearby pile of rubble. A dust-covered survivor clawed his way out. Wait, you too! Thank you for saving us, the old man wheezed. But you must go no further, Fu Yingyun scoffed. Don't worry, old man. We're more than capable. He just shook his head, a look of pity in his eyes. You don't understand. The monsters here, they evolve. The deeper you go, the stronger they become. At the city's heart, there is a beast the size of a skyscraper. A last team of powerful mutants who tried to fight it were wiped out to the last man. I saw their leader, a man who could shatter mountains, killed in an instant. The warning finally made Fu Yingyun pause. Maybe we should come back later? Fu Yingyun suggested, her bravado gone. Sovereign, Iron Arms cautioned. Perhaps we should consolidate our power before venturing further. Subai just laughed. A monster that powerful must be guarding an incredible treasure. This is a lucky break. As they walked away, a child tugged on the old man's sleeve. Are they going to fight the big monster? They are, the old man smiled. Go, call everyone out. The heroes have cleared a path for us to escape. The children cheered, their faces alight with hope. We're saved. We can finally leave. At their calls, dozens of other survivors emerged from the shadows, their spirits lifted. A crowd gathered in the ruined street, a wave of celebration washing over them. Hey, a little girl whispered to the boy. That's not your grandpa. The boy looked back, his blood running cold as he saw the old man's face twist into something inhuman. The kindly facade dropped, revealing a purely malicious grin. The elder's body warped and expanded, transforming into a grotesque, tentacled behemoth. So hungry, it rasped. The cheers turned to screams of terror as the survivors realized the trap they had walked into. Massive tentacles lashed out, smashing through the street and the fleeing crowd. It snatched up screaming victims, their struggles useless against its immense strength. Monster's eyes glowed with ravenous hunger. It lifted its catch towards a gaping maw, ready to feast. They walked deeper into the dead city, the silence broken only by the wind whistling through empty skyscrapers. Fu Yingyun sniffed the air. The smell of monsters is thick here, strong ones. A horde of grotesque creatures blocked their path. Maybe we should find another way around. She stood atop the fresh corpses. You know, you're lucky I'm brave enough to follow you into a place like this. Her boast was cut short as a clawed hand shot from the darkness, grabbing her leg. A chorus of monstrous roars echoed from all sides. It's an ambush, she cried, as figures swarmed from the shadows. "Go," Subai said calmly, unleashing the immortal binding rope. The crimson ribbon danced through the air, slicing through the ambush party with contemptuous ease. Advanced class monsters, he thought, as weak as the mosquitoes from that other world. A slow, predatory smile spread across his face. This would be more efficient than he'd hoped. He summoned his 3 main servants. Time to work. Old Yin took to the sky, unleashing a piercing sonic screech. The monster horde staggered, clutching their heads in agony. "Impressive," Subai noted. "Your soul-tearing cry has grown stronger." While the enemy was stunned, Old Ming and Iron Arms charged in, a perfect combination of speed and brute force. The battle turned into a one-sided slaughter. "What's the point of this?" Fu Yingyun asked. "They're not even giving you experience points." He didn't answer, simply raising his banner and clearing the path forward with a wave of soul energy. Their objective was in sight: the city's central archive, where the second item was hidden. A notification appeared in his mind. The 10,000 Souls banner had leveled up. Experience was irrelevant. The true prize was the endless supply of souls to feed his army. The banner pulsed, releasing the freshly harvested soul energy. His servants roared with delight, their own power growing with every kill. Even the GU King feasted, its strength swelling as it devoured the lesser monsters. Watching them, Fu Yingyun felt a surge of determination. "I need to prove my worth to him." She launched herself into the fray, her kicks and strikes finding their marks with deadly precision. As the last monster fell, she felt a surge of new power. So this was his plan. He was helping me cultivate. She remembered her plea at the Spirit Spring, asking him to help her grow stronger. He had listened. From this day forward, she would follow him without question. "You again?" Subai's voice was flat, devoid of surprise. The old survivor hobbled towards them, leaning heavily on his staff. "I couldn't just leave you to die," he said. Subai's eyes narrowed. "How did you get past the horde?" "Your power is great, young man, but I beg you, turn back. You cannot face what lies ahead." Subai's gaze was like ice. Warnings were just invitations to him. He turned his back on the old man, his decision made. "Prepare for battle," he told his servants. "We're not stopping." As Fu Yingyun watched the old man with a flicker of pity, a fleshy tentacle snaked around her waist. "It's you!" she shrieked. Recognizing the monster that had masqueraded as the elder, she screamed as the appendage constricted, lifting her effortlessly into the air. The monster dragged her toward its gaping, tooth-filled maw, but from the darkness of its throat, a figure leaped, wreathed in lightning. Subai plunged his spear deep into the creature's gullet. As the monster recoiled in pain, he sent the immortal binding rope to catch her falling body. He landed gracefully on the street below, holding her securely in his arms. The ground cracked slightly under the force of their descent. "You've broken through to the Golden Core realm," he noted, glancing at the wounded beast. "Good. Now this won't be so boring." The wound he'd inflicted was already healing. "Sovereign," Old Ming hissed. "This creature's regenerative ability is off the charts." "Let me go! I can fight!" Fu Yingyun struggled. "Be quiet," Subai commanded, his own energy flowing into her. "You're still weak." A chorus of mocking laughter erupted from the monster's many mouths. "You figured it out, have you? You cannot kill me!" Its main maw gaped open, ready to swallow them whole. "You will not touch the Sovereign," Old Ming declared, planting himself between his master and the beast. He met the flurry of tentacles with his own whirlwind of steel, a dance of death in the ruined street. The skeleton laughed. "Is this all you have? Your patterns are laughably simple. Speed and assassination are my specialties," the GU King buzzed, diving from the sky. It landed on the monster's back, preparing to inject its blood-dominating poison. Its proboscis pierced the tough hide, but the flesh was like dead rubber. The monster swatted it away like a common fly, its attack having no effect. "Insignificant pest!" the monster roared. From above, Iron Arms plummeted down. "You want a real pest?" He drew back his fist, channeling all his power into a single blow. "Take this!" The punch connected with the force of a meteor, shaking the very ground, but his fist only sank into the creature's blubbery flesh. It hadn't worked. The flesh around his arm morphed, opening into a new, spike-lined maw. It was a trap. The mouth snapped shut, pulling him into the monster's body. "Sovereign!" he yelled, his voice muffled. "Run! This thing is a Lord-class beast." "Iron Arms!" Old Ming cried, abandoning his defensive position to rush to his comrade's aid. but the tentacles he had severed sprang back to life, blocking his path. He was instantly bogged down, fighting for his own survival against the relentless, independent limbs. Fu Yingyun's eyes snapped open. Her power had stabilized. His story didn't add up. Subai's voice echoed in her mind. A weak old man surviving this long? He was bait. She blushed, realizing her own naivete had nearly gotten her killed. I understand. Back in his arms, she pouted. Don't be so mean. I'm just a girl. Without a word, he dropped her. Hey, she yelled from the ground. You don't act like one, he retorted coolly. Jerk, I hope you stay single forever, she cursed, scrambling to her feet. He ignored her, facing the monster that was slowly digesting his servant. Even at the Golden Core realm, I'm not strong enough. His hand touched the air, a faint, glitching interface appearing before him. But what else can I do? Then he remembered. The system had other functions. He reached into the flickering interface, his hand closing around a familiar hilt. A blade from his past life materialized, its single eye glowing with ancient power. The Slaying God blade, wreathed in the lightning of judgment. It's been a long time, old friend, he murmured, a faint smile on his lips. He held it aloft, ready to remind the world of his true power. Tricks! The monster bellowed. You think a new toy will save you from me? It lunged, its maw wide enough to swallow a building. Die! Subai met its charge by leaping high into the air, sword raised for a final strike. The monster's many eyes widened in disbelief and, for the first time, fear. With a single effortless swing, he brought the blade down. The divine lightning passed through the creature's immense body as if it were smoke. The Lord-class beast was annihilated in a silent, blinding flash of light. Iron Arms was thrown clear from the blast, freed from his fleshy prison. Fu Yingyun and Old Ming could only stare in awe. This was the true power of their sovereign. Magnificent, Old Ming whispered, his resolve hardened by the display. But from the twitching remains, a gurgling voice echoed. It's not over. The scattered pieces of flesh began to liquefy and crawl back together. The mass reformed into a single, colossal maw. I am invincible! Don't misunderstand, Subai said, his blade dematerializing. I was only here to retrieve my servant. Iron Arms staggered to his feet, his loyalty absolute. Sovereign, I am yours to command. With his forces regrouped, Subai faced the regenerating mass. You know, he began casually, you're going to die today, but it won't be by my hand. The monster's collective rage focused on the insolent human, its many eyes glowing with hate. Insolent worm, it shrieked, lunging forward with its colossal maw. I will devour you and take your power. As it attacked, Subai pushed Fu Yingyun aside. He threw her clear of the monster's path without a second thought, but the beast stopped short. Do not go any further, it warned, its voice laced with genuine fear. Certain death awaits you. Subai paused, a flicker of understanding in his eyes. The trap was sprung. As a new, even larger shadow fell over them, he smirked. I think you're mistaken. Death has come for you. The tentacle monster froze, its many mouths agape in utter shock. It looked up, its bravado evaporating into pure primal terror. A scythe-like limb, larger than a skyscraper, sliced down from the heavens. The air itself screamed as the blade descended, wreathed in killing intent. The city's true ruler had arrived, a Lord-class mantis, roaring its challenge. The impact shattered the street, sending tremors through the ruined city. The mantis tore into the smaller monster, a brutal display of territorial dominance. My food! The tentacle monster shrieked in rage and pain. You made me lose my food! This is my hunting ground, the mantis hissed. What are you doing here, pretender? The two Lord-class beasts faced off, their roars shaking the foundations of the world. From a safe distance, Subai and Fu Yingyun watched the spectacle unfold. What is that thing? She gasped. The real boss, Subai replied calmly. The octopus monster warned me not to go further because it was afraid. I just arranged a meeting. His prediction had come true. He had set the monsters upon each other. The mantis's blade struck again, sinking deep into the tentacle monster's flesh. The octopus recoiled, shrieking in agony. Wait, it gurgled, an idea forming. That human is the real prize. Let's kill him together. The mantis paused, considering the offer. Fine, it roared in agreement. Then it struck again, sinking its mandibles into the octopus. "After I eat you first!" The mantis bit down, expecting a triumphant feast, but it recoiled, choking on the toxic flesh of its rival. "Your core is shattered!" the mantis shrieked. "You will die!" The octopus gurgled with laughter. "And you are filled with my venom. We die together." That was his cue. Subai strode forward. The battlefield now his. "Thank you for the warm-up," he smirked. "Now, it's my turn." The two beasts froze, realizing they had been played. "It was you!" the octopus roared. "You led him here!" It turned its mass, its only thought to escape. "I'm leaving!" Running away? Subai's voice was laced with amusement. "I don't think so. Not when you're such a valuable prize." "Old Yin!" he commanded. The skeletal bird swooped down, ready to give chase. Riding atop his servant, he charged his blade. "Your spiritual attacks are useless against me." The slaying god blade hummed. Eager to taste the soul of a lord-class beast, he plunged the sword deep into the fleeing monster's back. The creature screamed as divine energy coursed through its very essence. He poured more power into the blade, intent on total annihilation. Its body dissolved, but its soul remained. "Physical attacks cannot kill a being of the soul realm," he explained to the disembodied spirit. A grim smile touched his lips, but this blade was forged for one purpose. A memory flashed, his own soul being torn from his body by a similar, cursed weapon. Skeletal demon from his past taunted him. "Your strength is gone. Your soul is mine." He remembered the agony, the feeling of being unmade. "Join my banner!" the demon had commanded. But even then, his soul had screamed back in defiance, "Never!"